I believe you are as sick as your secrets, and saying things out loud helps free you. So, my parents were married, and then they had me. I guess their marriage was difficult, so they later got divorced. I don't know why, I don't know the details. All I know is that they separated, so I used to be with my mother 1 week, and then I'll go be with my father the next week, okay? So, back and forth. 1 week, my dad never showed up to come and pick me up. I sat by the door, literally waiting and waiting. He never showed up. The following week, I did the same thing. I did this for months, okay? He never came. So I felt so rejected, okay? I still quite literally turn into that little girl when I talk about it. It has changed the trajectory of my life, okay? So I didn't find out until literally recently as an adult that my father did not abandon me. My mother cut him off because she was afraid that he was going to take me from her. So I literally had to grow up without a father, thinking that my father didn't love me. So I would go on dating these men who were amazing to me. I've had wonderful relationships, and I would literally feel like the love was never enough because my father didn't love me. How could another man love me? So it just fucked me up, okay? Like, for good. So this is why I chose the man that I chose to have a baby with. Like, everything truly makes sense. And my grandmother tells me this, and I was angry at my mom. Angry, okay? Because how dare you be that stuff fucking selfish and not think of me? You don't think I wanted to have my father? I've forgiven her, now I've made peace with it. But that's why I feel so strongly about cutting parents or cutting the other person.
Shalom. All praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect and all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Thamaya from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video, right? And this is the story of many women and men, right? The reason why there's such a imbalance in our community today is due to the fact that the woman, right, for the most part, some of the men leaves, right, and men don't really want to leave their children like that, but it's, due to the fact that a woman, she disgruntled about something, right, so she breaks a family down, and I'm not saying all cases are like this, but either way, whether the father and the mother are in some kind of disagreement, and the family breaks down, as long as the father leaves, it's a wrap. It doesn't matter who's in the right or who's in the wrong. But in this case, the father looks to be like he's in the right, right? And the thing women don't understand, well, they understand, they just don't give a damn. They just want to be the victor, okay? And I heard this guy said this a long time ago, and it never left me, right? When you're dealing with a woman, is either she's the victor or the victim. Right, there's no accountability, right? And I don't even think this woman in this situation, I don't think her mother really fully repented from hurting her daughter like that, right? Because it's not a new thing that's been going on in our so-called community, right? The culture is cultivated by the man, and if the man is not there for that discipline, right, it's going to be an imbalance on the woman's part, right? But she hurt her daughter very bad, man, by not having a father there to comfort and to protect them. She was pretty much vulnerable all her life because the mother took away that protection, that hedge, which is a father, right, from her. And without a father, especially if a woman feels rejected by her father, that's pretty much a downhill slope for the rest of her life, right? And she's still gonna be that little girl, that broken little girl, even when she's in her old age, right? the scripture did say there's no wickedness like the wickedness of a woman. So let's get that right now. Ecclesiasticus 25 and start at 13. Any wound, but not the wound of the heart, right? That goes into your mind, because dealing with somebody's woman, you can lose your mind, right? Especially if you put everything in, especially if you put all your love and all your feelings in, right? The scripture told us not to it told us to not to fall in love, but to love our women, love our wives, right? Because they're double-minded, man. Right? Today they'll feel up, the next day they're feeling down. Today they'll love you, the next day she'll hate you, right? So you have to really know how to deal with the woman, right? Because they'll wound your heart, man, right? Same verse, any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, right? And the woman's wickedness, it doesn't stop, right? Many many kingdoms have been eroded because of a woman wickedness, right? But in this society, they have you believe that men are the evil one, or whatever the case may be. They always say, oh, men bring wars, men cheats on their husband, on their wives. Listen, man, the scripture doesn't talk about a man being with one woman the rest of his life, right? Even all a woman will pretty much base her definition of a good man. She'll take away all the greatness that this man has done, him taking care of his family, which is compulsory, right? Protection, taking care of the family, putting his whole life on the line, right? Making everyone feels the way a family should, but let him step out just one time and get another woman. Everything else goes down the drain, man. Right? So that's also wickedness, whether they want to agree with that or not. This is just the judgment coming down, right? And that lady that I just played in the beginning of the video, that's just the curses, right? We can't escape the curses, man. It doesn't matter who we are. She looked very well put together, by the way, right? But inside those demons that she never got to mend because of her mother, taking that father and that hedge and that protection and that balance away from her. It says here, after suffering, but not suffering from those who hate, and any vengeance, but not the vengeance of enemies, because she becomes a vengeance. She becomes the vengeance of an enemy. That's what a woman is. When she's scorned, there is no venom worse than a snake's venom, and no anger worse than a woman's wrath. Right? She will burn a whole like this is all metaphorically speaking. Obviously, she'll burn a whole village down because what she did was burn that village down of her family. Right? Due to the fact that she's angry. Right? So the scripture here just describe her anger to that of a snake's venom. Right? It says here, I would rather live with a lion and a dragon than live with an evil woman. Right? And this father had to learn the hard way, man. He tried to get his daughter from, or he might not even try to take the daughter. The mom was just saying that he probably just wanted custody or like more more time with his daughter, right? By going to the courts and all that stuff. So she took the daughter all the way across the country, and that's kidnapping. If you do that without the father's consent, it has to be two parents' consent, right? In the ancient world, you will have to go and leave that child with you. Go back to your father's house or something, right? You can't just take the child because at the end of the day, it comes down to the seed of the man, right? That child is his, you know. Life starts in the nutsack and ends in the womb. That's all it is. But this world have you believe the opposite of that because of the whole feminism and the pride of these women. It says here, a woman's wickedness changes her countenance and darkens her face like that of a bear. Her husband sits among the neighbors, and he cannot help sighing bitterly. Right, and that man probably went through a lot too. Being away from his child, being away from his daughter, But men do feel these kind of pain, but we just hide them better than women, right? Women will talk to her girlfriends, women will talk to her mom, will talk to her psychiatrist, whatever. But us, we keep that pain inside, man. And the same pain that he was feeling, that daughter was feeling. Okay, same pain most men feel because their father's not around. It's the same pain the father feel not being around their children, right? So there's a connect there that got disconnected, right? You see the boys turning into gangsters. You see the woman turning into whores. That's due to the fact that the father is being kept away from the child. It says an iniquity is small compared to a woman's iniquity, right? Um, may a sins may a sinner's lot befall her, right? And that's a curse, right? That goes deep, man. So don't get. I mean, at the end of the day, a woman can always switch up on you too, right? They're always talking about men switching up on them, right? Yes, that do happen, but women switch up on men all the time, and wreck houses, wreck families. The only thing that these women can really say about men is men fuck other women. That's the only thing really. Apart from that, men do handle business, man, when it comes to their families. I just saw a video just now too, and this video has popped up. It's on Adam 22. This guy, let me see if I can find it on TikTok.
If you don't get to fuck.
It says a man breaks down crying on no jumper. Let me see if it shows up. If not, yes, this is the one.
Cannot believe she doing this to me. Because, like I said, you don't know me, bro.
And this is an Edomite woman, by the way.
This girl, if anybody know I don't deserve this shit, it's her, bro. It's her. She know this. She know I'm not this type of man, bro. She know this. And she doing this shit because she mad at me, bro. She ruining my fucking life, bro. Cause she mad. I miss my son, bro. I ain't seen my son in a month, cuz. I ain't seen my son in a month, bro. I miss that nigga every night, bro. She could leave, bro. She could leave. I don't need her, bro. How you gonna go to across the fucking country with my son, bro, and don't even wanna FaceTime me, man? I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. And I used to tell my family when they used to tell me, watch out for her. I used to tell niggas like, bro, she ain't that type, bro. She ain't gonna.
You're all that type, right? Walking up a sandy way. Right? This is so it's the same scripture, yeah. The same scripture to get right to the point, really. The wickedness of a woman changing her countenance. Oh, that's not it. As climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, right? And a lot of men fall for the beauty, right? And it's normal, right? A woman's beauty, it's always captivating, especially if you're a man who's never really gotten any beautiful woman around you, and then it might be the first one liking you or whatever the case may be, right? That's what the scriptures. It's the same thing with men. The Lord don't deal with men's physical appearance, right? But sometimes men that have physical appearance, the Lord chose some of them, right? It's the same thing with us. We're not supposed to like go off women's beauty, but some of them are beautiful and good. But at the end of the day, right? We're carnal, and we see what with the eyes wants what it sees, right? Just out of 1,000, and there's a multiple scripture that I can I can bring out, but just what comes to my mind. Ecclesiastes 7:28, right? And it says, let me get the KJV. Where is it? But one's a new translation. It's okay. That can work. Ecclesiastes 7:28. Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find nothing among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all these have I not. Right? So, you'll find a good man once in a while, but a good woman, because King Solomon dealt with a lot of women, right? Says that, he haven't found any, you know. So when you say they're not all like that, put any woman in any circumstance, man, she'll show her true colors, and that's what men are not privy to in this lifetime, right? The scriptures write about them for a reason, right? And this being in this truth, it makes you a man. It put you on that pedestal of wisdom to know how to deal with them, right? And even men in this truth, being as wise as we are, we still fall for the same thing, right? Because at the end of the day, we are men and we love our family, we love women. We get vulnerable, put ourselves in certain position and certain situation, and the women switch up on you, man. So that we all have to learn at the end of the day. And this is the curses too, right? Deuteronomy 28. Right, I think it's down on 56, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. The 48 or 56. We're still under the curses at the end of the day. The tender woman, 28 and 20 and 56. That is delicate among you, which would not prevent her to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, man, and toward her young, the one that cometh from out between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness. And we are in that siege right now, right? We're being surrounded by enemies, right? We are surrounded by our enemies, and this is the siege. And you see how they treat their children in the siege. You can go back into the time too when this happened in the time of what king was that? But it's in Second Kings. It happened there. It happened in in the time of Rome, right? And it happened in the second coming of the Roman Empire, which is now. We're seeing how these women deal with their children. We're seeing how they leave their children vulnerable by leaving the husband, right? You're pretty much leaving that spiritual protection, that rock, that's there to guide your family, and you're leaving, right? In the wilderness, because outside is a wilderness without a man in your life, man. Outside it's hostile, right? I know everything seems not nice now because you have the feminism, you have the government protecting you, but the government will eventually leave, and all you women who left your husband or boyfriend, whatever the case may be, due to the fact that you're disgruntled or he stepped out on a woman, on you with another woman, right? Most of these men just come home because it's like the brother Howard said last week, right? We're not supposed to be bored looking for adventures with a bunch of women, right? But in this society, all of us are fucked up, man, right? You got your wife and you're supposed to just raise your family, but we've been exposed to so many things in this society that we're all messed up with the mindset of the West, you know. And men step out because that's what men do, but they always come home for the most part, man. I've never really heard of a situation, where a man just leave his family and be with women and not come home, right? Yes, he might go back and forth, but he always come home, right? Because home is where the heart is, but he just wants another thing on the side or whatever the case may be. That's his Israelite rights, right? That's his rights, because all these other nations do it and come home, but you can't do it because you're so-called black, Negro, right? Latino, Native American. Your woman give you shit, But ask them if they will be with their favorite NBA player, knowing that he has multiple wives, multiple women. I've seen these questions before. Would you rather be a poor man's wife or an NBA player's side chick? And they always choose the side chick. So that's how they know that you can have multiple women, but it's just the fact that you don't have that clout, you don't have that money, you don't have that renown. So they pretty much put you as the same status as a gum under their shoe. Shalom.